Hey everybody, I'm Rod Kaiser. What we're going to do in this video today is we're going to work on some home remedy fixes for heat rings and watermarks on furniture. Now you see these a lot on tabletops. You know, there's unsightly white rings and splotches. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you're dealing with this in your home right now. Well, if you do an internet search, you're going to find a lot of remedies that seem almost a little bit too good to be true. Things that you can get in your own home, such as toothpaste, salt, real mayonnaise, vinegar, and the list goes on. Well, I've got those products right here, and what we're going to do is one by one, we're going to go through and we're going to put them each to the test. We're going to find out which products are fact and which products are, well, maybe internet legend. After we go through all these products, I'm also going to show you a couple things that we do here in the restoration studio on a regular basis to get rid of heat rings and watermarks. And one of these products here is going to work. So sit back, enjoy the video, and let's get to this and figure out how we can fix this problem. So what are these white splotches that we have on our tabletops anyway? Well, what it is it's moisture that's trapped below the surface of the finish. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to release that moisture in order to get rid of these white marks. Now we're going to do that through a couple different processes. One of them is reamalgamation. When you reamalgamate a finish, basically what you're doing is you're softening up the finish and allowing the moisture to be released. Your other process tends to be an abrasive process. And in that sense, you're removing the top layer of finish. Again, getting down to the moisture and allowing the moisture to be released. Well, there you have it. So that was quite interesting. And what did we find out? Well, we found out really the only product that worked, that gave us any change at all, as far as removing the water rings, was the Howard's Restore Finish. It was the only thing that really showed any significant change. Now, that being said, even the Howard's Restore Finish, though it was a great product and did remove a good portion of the water ring, it didn't remove it 100% on this particular table. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little trick to beef up this product a little bit, to make it a little bit more aggressive. But before I do that, I want to remind you that, first of all, you want to start at the beginning like we did in this video, and you want to progress through, because if you go right to an aggressive tactic, well, you very easily could ruin the finish on your table, and we don't want you to do that, and you don't want to do that. So what you want to do is you want to start with the least aggressive, and that's going to be at the beginning of this video with the oils. Try toothpaste. It doesn't hurt. You're going to have it. You should have it, right? You're going to be, able to try toothpaste. You're going to try the least aggressive products, and then you're going to work through the progression, sort of like we did on this video. And you'll get to the Howard's Restore Finish once, the other things don't work. The Howard's Restore Finish should work for you straight out of the can, just like it is. Now, there's going to be some times when you might get a really durable finish, and this alone isn't going to be quite enough to get rid of it. Now you have an extreme case. In that situation, basically you're at a point where the table really needs to go to a refinisher. Or you need to refinish it yourself. Now you make that choice that, okay, I'm going to send my table to the refinisher, or I'm going to refinish it myself. But let me throw a Hail Mary pass, okay? Because if you do what I'm going to show you, there's always a risk that you might damage the finish on the table. So you don't want to do this until, your very last choice, okay? And now it's either this, or we're going to throw it in the junk pile, or we're going to refinish it. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you take some Howard's Restore Finish, okay? We're going to take 1 part Howard's Restore Finish, all right? Then we're going to take some lacquer thinner, okay? We're going to do a little bit of lacquer thinner, okay? Now what we want to do is we want to mix this about 5 parts to 1, okay? You want to keep the lacquer thinner so that it's not very potent, okay? Now remember, the lacquer thinner by itself could very easily destroy a finish, render your table just a piece of junk needing refinishing. So you want to be really careful about this. I happen to know that since we've gone through this progression, that I've got a really tough finish on here, okay? So we're going to take the Howard's Restore Finish. Let's call that 5 parts Restore Finish, 1 part lacquer thinner. All right. Now, we're going to use this along with some 4-0 steel wool. If this doesn't work any better than just the Restore Finish, we can add 1 more part lacquer thinner through our progression until we get rid of these water rings. This is going to almost always get rid of your water rings. So if you've gone through all the other phases and it hasn't worked, then this is our last choice, and we're going to give this a shot. And I have a feeling these water rings on this table are going to vanish 100%. So let's give it a shot. I hope you enjoyed this video. One more thing before we go. You might want to make sure that when you're done with the job, you put a protective coat of paste wax or another product like this Feed and Wax from Howard's. Now I know I sound like a Howard's commercial, and that's not what it's intended to be. It's just that I happen to use their products here in the shop, and I had them handy, and I know that they work. And that's what this is all about. It's about actually showing you how to get a job done. I'm not necessarily trying to endorse any particular products, but I need to use what works, and I know that Howard's products works, so that's why I use them. So go ahead, you can use any paste wax you want, put a coat of paste wax on it, put a coat of Feed and Wax on it, put a little protective coating on here after you do the the Restore Finish and or the lacquer thinner or any of the other products that you use. Whether maybe you're going to get fortunate and just get away with using the the toothpaste, and if that's the case, that's awesome. You still want to put a coat of wax or something on after you're done, even if it's just a coat of lemon oil or something. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you don't mind, share the love. If you can subscribe to our channel or give us a like, we'd really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Don't forget you can check us out on the web. There's a lot of videos just like this on our website, www.werefinish.net, the Refinishing Studio Learning Center. I'm Rod Kaiser, and be good to your furniture.